Hello there, everyone. If you're watching this video, then you are part of the TTOR Army, an army that is building itself up one subscriber at a time. Now, if you're watching this video and you see the title and thumbnail of the video, you know that today we're once again going to be talking about Styx Hexenhammer 666, and we're going to be responding to a video he put out some time ago, but not too long ago. As you can see right here on the screen, the video of his that we'll be responding to is his BitChute video titled The Occult number 316, Christianity is Collapsing in the Civilized World. Why? The video has 8,261 views at the time of this recording, 441 likes, 21 dislikes, and with his 143,258 subscribers, Styx is one of the 10 largest channels on BitChute. Of course, Styx is also on YouTube, and on YouTube he has 490,000 subs, and he's also on Rumble, or he has around 80,000 subs, and I think he has a similar number of subscribers on Odysee as well. So Styx is someone who is popular on pretty much every platform that he's on, whether it be YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, Odysee, etc. But anyway, back on October 15th, 2021, Styx put out this video where he attempted to explain from his perspective why Christianity is collapsing in the Western world. And so it is at the 2-minute and 35-second mark of this video where we see Styx say the following.
Then you have certain Protestant movements. In their case, in many cases, I think it's televangelism. And really the fundamental problem of Christianity's decline in parts of the West begins with that, especially in the 80s. You get these slicked-back, sleazy brand managers, essentially similar to what the Pope has been for Catholicism over the last few years. They're not religious at all. I doubt most of these people even believe in the God that they espouse. They're in it for money. Which is why you constantly catch these people in various scams and scandals. So you got fucking Peter Popoff and Pat Robertson and Joyce Meyer, Charles Stanley, Billy Graham Jr., and all these other shysters. You've got Haggart there, who literally still does ministry on a much smaller level. He got caught. I mean, his big thing was drugs are bad, being gay is bad, and then he gets found with an 18-year-old male escort and a bunch of crack and methamphetamine in a hotel room. These people, by and large, do not live the way that they preach, and so that undermines the system itself.
And that's the entire clip we were going to look at. And basically, in a nutshell, Styx is saying that the decline of Christianity in the Western world is attributed to really two different things. One is religious hypocrisy, people who preach one thing and practice the opposite. And the other thing is lying grifters who claim the name of Christ and claim various ministries within Christianity for the purpose of making a profit and enriching themselves. And a lot of these people don't even really believe what they're teaching and telling people about the Bible and Christianity, etc. My thoughts when I saw this particular clip by Styx is that I actually agree with him quite a bit on this. Religious hypocrisy is something that turns off a lot of people to the biblical worldview. I remember one of my old friends from my college days that had a period of time where she and her husband actually left the Christian faith and went into atheism for a period of time. And the reason why they did it before they came back to the faith was because they were turned off by the hypocrisy of the Christians around them, both in terms of their behavior and the way they treated other people, and then the way that they rejected things that the Bible clearly taught. So the religious hypocrisy turned them off to the faith to the point where they spent a few years being atheists. But then they realized later on that, you know what, we can't let these people and their hypocrisy be the arbiter of whether or not Christianity is true. And so they came to their senses. They realized that, hey, just because these people are bad doesn't mean the faith is wrong. And they realized that the evidence for the truthfulness of the biblical worldview was greater than that of atheism by a country mile, so they came back to the faith later on. And then he mentions some people who use the name of Christianity in order to enrich themselves. I'll add one more to that list. Mario the Vigilant Christian, a guy who for many years was a popular YouTuber claiming to be a Christian, claiming to be a truther, claiming to be exposing the New World Order. He claimed to be a former New Ager, and he claimed that he used to struggle with drugs and alcohol and whatnot, but that he had basically gotten past that and that he was going to help other people get through it too. And then a couple years ago, he got busted by a female subscriber of his where he engaged with her in a sexting affair and basically revealed that he has homosexual desires. And over the next couple of years, a bunch of other things came out, either through people's investigation into Mario or Mario himself admitting to things. And Mario eventually admitted not only to struggling with homosexual desires after he initially denied it, but he also got busted admitting to a girl that he used to be roommates with that he's not actually a Christian. He's actually a New Ager pretending to be a Christian in order to make money on YouTube. And then he admitted that over a period of 5 years on YouTube, from like 2014 through 2018, he made over $500,000 on YouTube, and then he used that money for drugs and alcohol and escorts. And this was according to his own admission. So Mario the Vigilant Christian is someone you can add to that list of someone pretending to be a Christian in order to enrich their own lives and fuel their addictions and their vices and all that. You can add Mario to that list. And then as far as lying grifters go, there's another group that I would like to add to the list, and it's extremely personal to me because of my status as a young Earth creationist. We can add Ken Ham and Answers in Genesis to the lying grifters list. Why do I say that? Answers in Genesis is the largest young Earth creationism ministry in the young Earth creationism movement, and so a lot of people think that they represent young Earth creationism. In the Answers in Genesis ministry, Ken Ham and his crew, they teach that the Bible clearly teaches a 6,000-year-old Earth and universe when you look at the genealogies and time spans provided by Genesis, Exodus, and 1 Kings 6:1. And of course, that's true, and I've been teaching that on my channel as well because that is what the Bible teaches. Another thing that they've been teaching is that if you reject the young Earth creationism timeline of history that the Bible teaches, then you're rejecting biblical authority because you're rejecting something the Bible clearly teaches. That is also a true premise. They also teach in their ministry that if you reject biblical authority, then you're actually dealing with a salvation issue. That biblical authority is a salvation issue. If you reject biblical authority, you're a heretic and you're not saved. Now, if all three of these teachings are true, the logical conclusion that comes from that is that young Earth creationism is a salvation issue. And young Earth creationism is a salvation issue because the Bible clearly teaches it, according to Ken Ham and AIG. Rejecting things that the Bible clearly teaches is a rejection of biblical authority, according to Ken Ham and AIG. And rejecting biblical authority is a salvation issue, according to Ken Ham and AIG. And yet, when asked about the issue, Ken Ham and Answers in Genesis repeatedly state that young Earth creationism is not a salvation issue, even though they teach all of the premises that lead you to that conclusion. So the question becomes, why does Answers in Genesis and Ken Ham deny the conclusion that all the premises of their teachings lead you to? Well, the reason why they do it is because they stand to lose a lot of money from donors if they come out and admit that young Earth creationism is a salvation issue. I know this because years ago I asked AIG fans on Facebook, hey, if AIG were to come out tomorrow and admit that young Earth creationism is a salvation issue, would you continue donating to AIG? Every AIG fan who responded back to me said, no, we would not continue to financially support AIG if they said that young Earth creationism is a salvation issue. AIG also doesn't like dealing with the negative blowback that comes with saying that young Earth creationism is a salvation issue. So because they don't want to deal with the negative blowback that comes with saying it, And because they don't want to lose money from donors by saying it, Answers in Genesis and Ken Ham literally will tell you that young earth creationism is not a salvation issue, even though they teach all of the premises that lead you to that conclusion. They do it because they're in it for the money, and they're in it for having a good reputation. The truth is not the most important thing to them. Another thing I would like to add to what Styx had to say in this video is that another major reason why Christianity is collapsing in the civilized world is because almost nobody, and I repeat, almost nobody, whether they be Christians or not, almost nobody knows what the Bible teaches or says about anything. There's a massive biblical illiteracy problem in the world, especially in the Christian world. That's the reason why Christians are so ineffective at evangelizing to people by and large. That's why a lot of people have been falling away from the faith in recent years, is because the Christians around them are so biblically illiterate that they can't do anything about the person being deconverted. They don't even know what the Bible teaches themselves, so when a person asks challenging questions about what the Bible teaches, they're unable to answer those questions or to help them in any way. So biblical illiteracy is a huge problem. Let me make it easy, for example. Once again, because I'm a young earth creationist, I've had multiple conversations with people where I've talked to them about how I'm a young earth creationist, and I've asked them, hey, have you ever heard of young earth creationism before? And the common answer I got back was, no, I've never even heard of that. So, for a lot of Christians, they don't even know that the Bible teaches a 6,000-year-old earth and universe because, one, nobody's ever pointed it out to them, or they've never actually read the scriptures for themselves and never studied the issue, and so they don't realize what the Bible teaches about origins, and that makes them susceptible to falling into old earth creationism. And speaking of old earth creationism, Styx and people like him find it hilarious when old earth creationists try to reinterpret the Bible's position on origins in order to make it fit the old earth creationism worldview. I discussed this in a video from January 1st, 2020 titled Styx Hexenhammer 666 Admits that the Bible teaches young earth creationism, laughs at old earth creationists. And in this video, I respond to a Styx video where Styx literally laughed at old earth creationists for trying to claim that the Bible is pro-science and that the Bible supports their position on origins, when if you read the Bible, it clearly teaches a 6,000-year-old earth and universe and Noah's flood and all of the stuff that Styx mentioned in that video. So Styx recognized that the Bible teaches young earth creationism, and he laughed at old earth creationists for trying to reinterpret the Bible to make it more palpable to non-believers. Considering that Styx is not a Christian and he's against organized religion and he really doesn't care about the origins debate for much of anything, it's quite eye-opening to see him say that the Bible teaches a young earth and that old earth creationists are silly for trying to reinterpret it in order to try and convert people like him. It's a pretty amazing experience that I had when I saw that video, and I'll have the link to this video in the description box below so that you can watch it for yourself. It's really an eye-opener that you should see. But anyway, those are the main reasons I think why the Christian world is collapsing, at least in the Western world. It's because of religious hypocrisy on the part of people who call themselves Christians. There's a bunch of lying grifters in all of the Christian movements that are basically using the name of Christ, the biblical worldview, or young earth creationism in order to grift off of people and enhance their own well-being and accomplish whatever selfish agenda they have for themselves. And then the other big factor is that people are just flat out biblically illiterate. Or if they aren't biblically illiterate, they'll be so desperate to conform the Bible to whatever the world is saying that they'll literally reinterpret the Bible in light of what the world is saying in order to make the two jive, which basically explains old earth creationism and so many other false Christian movements in a nutshell. So anyway, that's all I have to say in response to this video by Styx. I'll have the link to this video and the other video in the description box below so that you can check it out for yourself and come to your own conclusions about the data presented to you today. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw and you want to help me go from being a part-time to a full-time content creator, then I would encourage you to subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos, and leave your likes and comments down below. If you'd like to help me preserve freedom of speech on the internet, you can join Creation Social, which is my open source alt-tech alternative to Facebook and Gab. And in the future, I'll be rolling out a video sharing site of my own. So if you want to help support that and make that happen, you can also help out with that through the various payment methods that we have. You can use the payment methods to pay for Creation Social, the future video sharing site, and anything else related to TTOR. First way you can do that is become an active monthly subscriber to the TTOR Subscribe Star account. We have $1 tiers, $5 tiers, $20 tiers, $25, $50, and even $100 tiers. And if we have at least 5 active subscribers at all times, your money can actually be paid out to me so I can use it for the TTOR Creation Social projects. The other way you can donate to TTOR and Creation Social and anything related to those two things is you can go to any one of my individual Joshu TV videos, click on the Send a Tip button, and that will take you to my tip jar page where you can donate to TTOR through PayPal. You can purchase products from our Teespring store, both TTOR and Creation Social products. You can also donate to my Coffee page, and if you have Bitcoin, you can send it to my Joshu TV wallet. So those are all the different ways that you can support TTOR financially as far as crowdfunding platforms go. Another way you can support TTOR, Creation Social, and everything related to those things financially is you can go to Amazon and purchase one of my books. There's Another Inconvenient Truth, What Secular America Hates. And then there's Another Inconvenient Truth too, Defending Young Earth Creationism. Both books are available as a Kindle download and a paperback on Amazon. You can also download them as PDF files off of the TTOR Teespring store, and they're also available on the Creation Social Marketplace. Thank you for watching, and have an excellent day.